states of in the districts of Yavatmal in Maharashtra, Warangal, and Adilabad in Andhra Pradesh. And the proportion was really very less.
What were the reasons for this?
Main reasons were lack of irrigation facility, one. Second is fluctuating cotton prices, and third is the timely availability of credit. Look, the farmers, high cost and fluctuating cotton prices, and then the credit factor. See, the farmers reported that the transaction costs that are associated with getting credit from institutional sources was much higher and cumbersome than getting credit from money lenders, RBI's relatives, where it was much easier to get loans, but the risks were more. The interest rates were higher in getting credit from the money lenders compared to banks, but then the process for getting the paperwork and all involved in getting bank from the credit was difficult. So timely availability of credit was reported to be a factor. Next was erratic and uncertain rainfall. See, these regions, they mainly have shallow soils. So cotton grows very well in deep black dirty soils, deep soils. But wherever there is shallow soil, then there is a problem, and with erratic rainfall conditions. So these were the problems.
So do you believe that cotton as a crop is not good for these areas?
Maybe we should actually go by specific agroclimates. We really need to identify regions with shallow soils where a certain hybrid can grow and where it is not going to grow anywhere. That requires an in-depth scientific inquiry, which is not the pure view of our survey. Our survey was a socio-economic impact assessment. For this kind of an answer, we really need a scientific inquiry across agroclimatic regions.
आपने जो लिखा है पिछले 10 साल में ये जो उत्पादन जो है वो 9.25 टोटल, तो इसमें उत्पादन जो है वो 4.9 है। क्या बीटी से बड़ी है या ओवरऑल?
देखिए, ये टोटल कॉटन का ही है, ये गवर्नमेंट का डेटा है। गवर्नमेंट बीटी नॉन बीटी करके डेटा नहीं है, वो कॉटन बोर्ड के डेटा है।
किसान की इनकम में आप क्या रहेगा?
किसान को हमने स्पेसिफिकली सवाल इस तरह से पूछा कि आप बीटी लगाते हो? जी हाँ, लगाते हैं। तो आपको इससे बीटी से आपकी उत्पादन पहले के से अभी बढ़ा है? तो वो कहते हैं हाँ जी हाँ बढ़ा है। इससे आपको मुनाफा हुआ है? तो कहते हैं मुनाफा हुआ है, इसीलिए तो लगा रहे हैं। आंकड़े जो है वो ओवरऑल उत्पादन के हैं, वो गवर्नमेंट का डेटा है। और अलग से हमने किसानों को उनका परसेप्शन पूछा कि उनको क्या लगता है कि उनका मुनाफा बढ़ा है, वो फार्मर का डेटा है।
वो ये मानते हैं कि ब्यूटी कॉटन में 20% का
ब्यूटी कॉटन में ओवरऑल पेस्टिसाइड, अगर बाद में हम जब रिपोर्ट आप देखेंगे, पेस्टिसाइड कंजम्पशन बहुत ज़्यादा घटा है। इनफैक्ट इट हैज रिड्यूस्ड फ्रॉम बाय अबाउट 23% एज आई सेड फ्रॉम द प्री टू पोस्ट बीटी पीरियड, ठीक है। लेकिन फिलहाल कुछ सालों में, ये लास्ट 2-3 सालों में, द प्रोपोर्शन ऑफ इंसेक्टिसाइड कॉस्ट टू टोटल कॉस्ट ऑफ कल्टिवेशन वो थोड़ा सा बढ़ने लगा है, बिकॉज सकिंग पेस्ट अब ज़्यादा आने शुरू हो रहे हैं। सकिंग पेस्ट का प्रॉब्लम ये है, तो वो जो बीटी टेक्नोलॉजी, जो करंट बीटी टेक्नोलॉजी है, जैसे पहले BG1 आया, फिर BG2 आया, सो वो टेक्नोलॉजी अब जिस तरह के पेस्ट सब आ रहे हैं उसको हैंडल नहीं कर पा रही, उसके लिए हमको नया टेक्नोलॉजी चाहिए। और जो करंट इंसेक्टिसाइड है उससे वो उनकी कटौती नहीं हो रही है। सो नाउ इट इज स्लोली पेस्टिसाइड आर इंक्रीजिंग, सकिंग पेस्ट आर इंक्रीजिंग। बट जिसके लिए बीटी आया था बोलवर्म को कंट्रोल करने के लिए, वो बहुत हद तक कंट्रोल।
But there are studies that even bollworm is being, now getting resistance.
Yeah, that is because that's why
So you know that technology is failing at some level. After some time it's coming to saturation.
Because every technology has limitations. So first came BG1, that was a technology. Okay. Then there was an incidence of slime pest attack. Then BG2 came, so that was alleviated for some point of time. Now there is increase.
We, as a pharma organization, we commissioned a study on social impact assessment of the technology. Because जैसे मैंने बोला कि जो परसेप्शन था कि किसान मुनाफा नहीं कमा रहा है, और जब आप अगर किसान मुनाफा नहीं कमाएगा तो वो बीज बदल देगा, उससे बीज फर्टिंग पड़ेगा तो वो फसल बदल देगा। वो बार बार हर साल अगर कॉटन ही ग्रो कर रहा है और वो भी 90% फार्मर्स अगर 90 से ज़्यादा इनफैक्ट 90% से ज़्यादा अगर कॉटन फार्मर्स अगर बीटी हर साल ग्रो कर रहे हैं तो उसको मुनाफा हो रहा है, इसीलिए वो ग्रो कर रहा है। एंड जस्ट टू वैलिडेट दैट पॉइंट वी हैव कंडक्टेड दिस सर्वे। इट इज ओनली ऑन द सोशल इम्पैक्ट एनालिसिस ऑफ बीटी कॉटन टू डिस्पेल दोस परसेप्शन एंड द प्राइमरी सोर्स ऑफ डेटा इज द farmer perception.
Can you give some economics between BT cotton farmer and non-BT cotton?
Yeah, that would have been really very interesting. We had moved on with that objective in mind, but then the proportion of non-BT farmers was like really less. So farmers are also growing non-BT, but the proportion is really less compared 2% to 100%.
So how much was the sample size for?
Our sample size, we did not have a sample size for non-BT. We have gone and gone to a cotton farmer and asked him how much proportion of area is under BT, how much proportion of area is under non-BT. So the average, on an average, it's more than 90% is under BT. So how do we compare it with non-BT? That is why in this study we have not done a comparative analysis between BT and non-BT. I really shouldn't say that there is much difference. Because when we went to the farmers, the cost of total working capital, तो टोटल वर्किंग कैपिटल उनका लिया, फर्टिलाइजर पे कितना खर्चा हो रहा है, पेस्टिसाइड पे, ह्यूमन लेबर पे सब किया, तो हमको दिखा मुनाफा है, ठीक है। और गवर्नमेंट का डेटा भी वही दिखा है। इनफैक्ट गवर्नमेंट डेटा इज टेलिंग अस that from pre to the post BT cotton period, the cost of cultivation has increased by about 61%. Okay, cost of cultivation has increased, but the net returns has increased manifold. It has increased by at least 75%.
Now can I ask you a question? Those who have been critical of the use of BT cotton have argued that this is a one-off increase, that you have a one-off jump which will last for a few years, your productivity goes up, your yield goes up, and your income goes up. But after some time it plateaus, and then after a plateau there is a decline. So the argument is by that time the farmer does not have a choice, because he or she has got used to using BT cotton, and the gains will be for a short period of time, ephemeral, and would be for a longer period. What does your study indicate in this?
We have definitely given this a thought, and our graph, our yield graph, which is government data shows, is telling exactly what you said. It has increased, it has jumped, it has plateaued, it has started. Okay. Now, as I said, the decline is because of these three reasons: the rainfall, erratic rainfall patterns, the increase in certain pests, and marginal lands coming under BT. Our report says that extension farmers have reported only 2% farmers reported getting information from extension software. Okay, so there is no in-depth scientific knowledge that is being given to the farmer on the kind of soil that he has, whether this BT could be grown in this soil. What is the weather pattern? Are we able to tell our farmers, give a proper weather forecast to our farmers? How many of our farmers rely on weather forecasting? We don't have such systems. Even if they exist, it does not reach the farmer. So he just knows that there is one technology, and he looks at his neighbor. That neighbor says that my yields have increased, so he grows BT the next. So that's the thing. Now there are varieties which are coming up. The Cotton Research Institute has developed a new variety. They have also developed a new indigenous BT hybrid. So let them come up and market that. I mean, we have not found them in the marketing thing at all. We asked the farmers from where they purchase it. All the private seed companies they have made. And Intaveri Karma or NH44 BT, which is the CIC, hasn't really come up because their marketing has probably not been as strong as the other private companies.
जब भी किसान कोई फैसला करेगा कि कौन सा बीज इस्तेमाल करना है, वो पड़ोसी का ही देखेगा, वो अपने देखेगा जिसके पिछले साल अच्छी आमदनी हुई है वो वही चीज़ कॉपी कर लेगा। एंड दैट इज हाउ फार्मिंग इज डन अक्रॉस दिस कंट्री। मेरे खेत में भी अगर अच्छी उत्पादन हुआ है मेरे बीज का, तो मेरा पड़ोसी मेरे को देख लेगा। अगर एक साल मेरा उत्पादन खराब है, मैं पड़ोसी का देख लूँगा कि इसका ये बीज अच्छा चला है तो अगले साल go up, everybody puts the same commodity. And because there's excess commodity, prices fall. So next year nobody puts it, then prices will rise again. So that is the cyclic nature of how farmers decide.
I want one more question. It's like this, that you are arguing that it's not leaky cotton, but other factors, various other factors, erratic rainfall, absence of credit, government not doing extensive work. All of this are responsible for farmer suicide, for the yields and the productivity plateauing and then declining, and not per se the use of the method. Am I correct? The second question that was asked, that because there is a big controversy about the use of genetically modified seeds, that what is good in the case of cotton may also be good in the case of food. That is brinjal and things. Can one draw conclusions on that?
I think particularly this question has a lot of context of a case study, because there's I think which is focused on feeding water, and because if you take the debate to other topics, then another person will go off.
We need a separate.
Yes, in fact,
survey for that.
no. In fact, I would be very happy to use this forum to ask for funding for such a study which would look at other aspects of this technology. In fact, we'd be very happy to commission a study. Yes, we would be very happy to conduct a study on other aspects of the same technology or other technologies also.
So I would like to tell you one thing related to this. I mean, absolutely no interference from Sir, from Thakurji or Dr. Ha. Ours was a socio-economic impact analysis, but we have also looked at several other parameters, several other studies and scientific studies. So I would like to quote a scientific study by the Central Institute of Cotton Research. They had way back in 2001, in their report, said that the proliferation of varieties causes more pest attacks. Today, we have more than 1,000 BT hybrid seed companies. Names of all ones and goddesses have been covered in that. I don't know, they are maybe more than 2,000 or something. So, this huge proliferation of hybrids, if I have to go by that CICR report, could also be causing this huge infestation of pests. Could also. I am going with that report. This is not my study. Second is a recent study, once again by in 2011, by Dr. Kranti and Dr. Glaze from CICR, says that cotton can be grown in deep water soils under certain specific climatic conditions. So our farmers are really not able to follow that study and such things.
अभी आप कह रहे हैं 90% एरिया में टोटल का हमारा ट्रेनिंग का, उसके बावजूद भी सबसे ज़्यादा जो मात्रा हम तय करते हैं वो टोटल की।
इसीलिए ना जो एरिया में ये आत्महत्या हो रहा है विदाउट मेनली विदर्भा रीजन में हो रहा है, बिल्कुल कोई एरिया में हो रहा है ना, बाकी जगह में भी हो रहा है लेकिन कम हो रहा है, इस रीजन में ज़्यादा हो रहा है। इस रीजन में ज़्यादा इसलिए हो रहा है क्योंकि रेनफेड है, यहाँ पर सिर्फ बारिश में भरोसा है लोगों को। कॉटन को पानी ज़्यादा चाहिए होता है, बीटी कॉटन को पानी ज़्यादा चाहिए होता है। Our farmers in Punjab, they were saying that it was about 5 irrigations per hectare for BT compared to 2 or 3 irrigations per hectare in BT, in non-BT. Okay, so इसमें irrigation ज़्यादा